tomorrow on Friday we have a test. There's a lot of math involved in this test. For these first section, section A, you're finding the area of a circle when given the circumference. So the key is you take the circumference, plug it into the formula. C equals pi d, plug in your circumference right there. Since we know that pi is 3.14, divide by 3.14, and you get 6 equals d. To find the area, you need the radius, so cut the diameter in half. Plug it into pi r squared, 3.14 times 3 times 3, and you get 28.6. In class, we all were able to at least finish 1, 2, and 3. So if you continued following that process, I will give you the answers so you have them to verify with. For number 4, you get an answer of 283.385, and for number 5, you get 254.34. In section B, circumference of a circle when given the area. Okay, looking for the area. So find the circumference of a circle with the area of 36 pi. You take 36 pi, plug it in for the area. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Since 36 pi equals pi r squared, cancel out the pi's, and you're left with 36 equals r squared. What times itself equals 36? I hope you all realize that 6 times 6 is 36. To find the diameter, when you find the radius, multiply it times 2, and you get 12. Plug 12 into the formula pi d times 3.14, and you get 37.68. For the other questions, find the circumference of the circle with the area 49 pi, cancel out the pi, and you find out that the radius is 7. Therefore, the diameter is 14. You plug it in, and you get 43.96. For number 3, you know that the area is 113.04. Divide by 3.14. You get 36 equals r squared. What number multiplies to give yourself 36? Is 6. The diameter is 12. So 12 times 3.14 is 37.68. For number 4, 78.5 equals pi r squared. Divide by 3.14 and you get 25. What times itself gives you 25? I hope you all know that it is 5. 5 is your radius, therefore 10 is the diameter. Diameter times pi, and you get 31.4. If you find the circumference of the circle with the area of 314, divide by 3.14 and you get 100. 100 equals r squared. What times itself equals 100? Well, you all know that it is 10. So 10 is the radius and 20 is the diameter. 20 times 3.14 gives you 62.8. Find the area of the shaded area. The key is to find area of larger shape and then subtract the area of the smaller shape. So the example given is you have a big rectangle and a smaller rectangle. Find the area of the large shape, length times width. 8 times 12 is 96. Find the area of the small shape, length times width, 6 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Since you're finding the area of the shaded region, subtract the 2 and you get 78 feet squared. If we go back to this question, number 2, okay, you have a circle within a square. So find the area of the circle. To find the area of a circle, it's still length times width. So it's 10 times 10, which is 100. To find the area of a circle, it's pi r squared. If this 10 represents the diameter, the radius would be 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 3.14 is 78.5. Subtract the 2, and you're left with 21.5. For number 3, my backyard's 20 feet by 10 feet long. My rectangular fire pit is 8 feet by 6 feet long. What area of my grass not covered by a fire pit? Find the area of my backyard. 20 times 10 is 200. The rectangular fire pit, 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract the 2, and you get 152. Number 4, my wall is 15 feet by 10 feet. I have a round mirror with a diameter of 5 feet. How many square feet is not covered by the mirror? 15 times 10 for my wall. And then area of a circle is pi r squared. I'm given the diameter. So diameter, radius is half of that. So the radius of that circle is 2.5. 3.14 times 2.5 times 2.5 is 19.625. And we're finding the area of the shaded region, so we subtract and we get 130.375. Now these ones, we're finding the perimeter and the area of the irregular shape. Some people had the problem where when you're finding the perimeter, you have to add up all the sides. A couple of the sides are not labeled. So you have to realize if this whole thing is 30 and this part's 25, this part is 5. If this whole part's 20 and this part's 14, this part is 6. So that's where the 6 and the 5 come from to get your 100. I broke this question up into 2 shapes. This rectangle and this rectangle. So I did it as 25 times 14, 25 times 14, my length and width, and then I did 6 times 30, which is 6 times 30. Since I'm finding the area of this whole shape, I add them together and get 530. For this second shape, there's a lot of missing lengths. If this is 3, this also is 3. If this is 7, this also is 7. The long side missing, you need to take into account you have a 4 here, 10, and 2, which all add up to be 16. So when you add them all together, you do 3, 4, 7, 10, 7, 2, 3, 16, and you get 52. I broke this one up by saying take this rectangle and this rectangle. So you take 16 times 3 equals 48, 10 times 7 is 70, and add them together to get 180. When you're finding the perimeter of a shape in the correct scale, one of the most important things is to realize the scale, that 1 inch equals 5 miles. So I recommend add all 3 sides up, because you know that that's perimeter. So you add 3, 4, and 5, and you get 12. Since this says it's 1 inch equals 5 miles, take your 12 multiply by 5, and you get 60 miles. So let's follow the same process over here. 8 plus 9 plus 10 equals 27. The scale is 1 inch equals 3.5 miles. Multiply those. (27 times 3.5) and you get 94.5 miles. When you go over to this one, this is a common mistake. If this is 5, this is 5. If this is 12, this is 12. So you need to do 12 plus 12 plus 5 plus 5 is 34. And if 1 inch equals 30 or equals 6 miles, you have to do 34 times 6 to get 204. 204 miles. Number 4, a rectangular picture has dimensions of 6 centimeters by 10 centimeters. The actual size is scaled by 1 centimeter equals 4 feet. So a rectangle, just like over here, you have to remember there's other 2 sides. So you need to add all 4 up to get 32. Then the scale is 1 centimeter equals 4 feet. So you do 32 times 4 is 128 feet.